Hello everyone, this is segment number 1 of this stool project. I'm going to try to do this in 6 segments or less. And what our project is for today is we're going to be building a wooden stool, a little bit larger than a milk stool. You see that little stool over there? That's a milk stool. I'll go in a little bit closer. That's a milk stool there on top of that chair. This stool is going to be a little bit larger than a milk stool. A little bit heavier legs, for one. A little bit larger seat, but not as large as a piano stool. Why I'm focusing on these 2 logs right here is these 2 logs right here are going to be the new stool. We're going to work on this today. This log in particular, right here, the smaller one of the 2, is going to be the 4 legs. This log right here I'm going to cut the seat from. Why I'm using this log is because if you notice right here where my finger is, this is the center of the log. This is what's known as, or referred to as, the heart of the log right in here. If you notice, there's one little tiny split check coming away from the heart. I don't want to include the hardwood in my stool seat. In the old days they used to cut logs and they used to call it quarter sawn. And what they used to do is they used to split the log this way, and then the wood that they would cut and extract out of the quarter sections would be called quarter sawn wood. So that's what we're going to do here, is we're going to quarter saw this log. So we're going to cut it here and here, basically in a cross-shaped pattern, and cutting through the heart. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract pieces for the seat off of the quarter sawn pieces, out of this largest quarter sawn section away from the heart, because the heart's here. You can see that the widest section away from the heart is right in here. So I'm going to take this quarter sawn section here, which is the widest one, so I can get my widest boards. And I'm going to try to extract 2 boards right from in here. Right here and here, from this 2 quarter sawn boards. I'm going to reverse the grain on the 2 boards and glue them together to make the width of the seat from this quarter sawn section. So this is where we're going to get started right now on this project. We're going to start on this log and we're going to start quarter sawing it right now in segment number 1. So we're going to bring our camera over here and focus on the saw, and we're going to get the saw ready. First we want to unplug the saw to get the saw ready, remove anything that's on the bed of the saw. We're going to up the blade guard to the size of this log, because this is a really big log. Now remember, I unplugged the saw so I can touch the blade. These are roller bearing guides on the blade. I have to take this saw, getting up pretty much to the biggest log that I can accept for this size saw. This is an 18-inch bandsaw. I'm going to resaw this log. Should be high enough to do the trick. Let's just check real quick and make sure that our blade is running square. And it is not. So what we want to do is we want to adjust the table slightly. Very touchy table adjustment. we got a nice square table. Tighten them as tight as I can get them. Ah, there we go. That's more like it. Now we'll get square pieces off of our log. Now we're ready to go. All I got to do is put on a mask. And a pair of eye goggles. And ear protection. And go and grab my log and plug my saw in. This is one hefty log, let me tell you. This is about as big a log as I'd ever want to try to run through this saw. It's such a big hard log that I'm going to have to be careful. Take it through rather slowly. Okay, as you can see, okay, I'll take this face mask off so you can hear me better. As you can see, I got the piece I wanted for the seat. And I can get a rather wide board from this section in here. The heart's right here. A quarter sawed off here, try to get 2 boards. 2 1-inch thick boards, and I'm gonna... Actually, I think what I'll do is, I think I want them planed out 1 inch thick. And if you plane out 1 inch thick board, what you end up getting is, typically, is not 1 inch. You end up getting typically 3/4 of an inch. So I think I'll cut them at 1 1/4 inches so that I can plane them out to 1 inch for the seat. Because but that being said, what you can do for your seat is you can take the 1 inch thick boards, and they call them 1 inch, but you'll be 7/8 or 3/4 of an inch thick, and glue them together. It'll be a little bit on the thin side. What you can do is you can glue 2 sets together and get 1 inch and not quite 1.5 inches, and you'll have a little bit thicker seat than I'm going to have. I'm going to have 1 inch thick seat, and your seat will be 1.5 inches thick if you use boards that way, and glue two boards together, double thick. I wouldn't recommend going the 3/4 of an inch thick with the seat for this stool, because this is a little bit heavier class stool, and 3/4 of an inch thick for the seat isn't thick enough. And another way of doing it is too, is you could, it wouldn't be as nice of a job, but you could glue your boards together, and on the underside of the boards glue a sheet of glue some plywood in to thicken it. I'm not really going to recommend doing it that way, but it can be done that way. To get the thickness. If you do use the plywood, I would recommend going at least 1.5 inches thick with your seat. So onward with cutting this.